Welcome to this week's edition of Hematology and Blood Cancer Updates, covering the latest breakthroughs. Brought to you by LucidQuest. DARZALEX FASPRO continues to reshape the multiple myeloma treatment landscape. In the Perseus trial, newly diagnosed patients receiving DVRD and DR maintenance achieved a remarkable 95% progression-free survival at 4 years. Additionally, 56% maintained minimal residual disease negativity for over 24 months. The Sickle study showed similarly promising outcomes in transplant-ineligible patients, with 60% achieving MRD negativity and 69% progression-free survival at 54 months. These results support DVRD plus DR maintenance as an effective standard across newly diagnosed populations. ISB 2001, a trispecific antibody from IgI, showed a 79% response rate and 30% complete responses in relapsed refractory myeloma. Responses were durable, even after prior anti-CD38, BCMA, and T-cell therapies. Cytokine release syndrome was mostly grade 1. The drug has received FDA Fast Track designation. Ziftomenib, a Menin inhibitor, has its FDA new drug application accepted for NPM1-mutated acute myeloid leukemia. Based on COMET-001, it received priority review with a decision expected by November 30, 2025. It also holds breakthrough, orphan drug, and fast track status. Selinexor showed molecular responses in pediatric acute myeloid leukemia. In the Selim trial, 52% of patients had deep responses, with 31% showing early clinical benefit. The therapy targets high-risk genetic alterations, including NUP98ZFX, RUNX1 fusions, and KMT2A rearrangements. Ongoing biomarker work includes single-cell RNA sequencing to refine patient stratification. A fixed-duration oral regimen of Calquence and venetoclax, with or without obinutuzumab, received EU approval for frontline chronic lymphocytic leukemia. The AMPLIFY trial showed 77 to 83% 3-year progression-free survival. Compared to chemoimmunotherapy, the regimen reduced risk of progression or death by up to 58%. This approval marks the first EU clearance for a second-generation BTK inhibitor in a fixed-duration setting. Halia Therapeutics has completed Phase 2A enrollment in its study of HT6184 for low-risk myelodysplastic syndromes. The therapy targets the NEK7-NLRP3 inflammasomes complex to suppress clonal inflammation. Top-line results are expected by late 2025. Halia is also advancing its pipeline into type 2 diabetes and obesity, including a planned trial combining semaglutide with its inflammasome inhibitor. Selector's iopofosine I-131 earned FDA Breakthrough Therapy designation for Waldenstrom's macroglobulinemia. In the CLOVER-WaM trial, it achieved 84% overall response rate and 58% major response rate. A conditional EU marketing decision is expected by July 2025. Estrella Biopharma expanded its Starlight-1 trial of EB103, a CD19-targeted T-cell therapy in relapsed refractory B-cell non-Hodgkin lymphoma. EB103 uses the Artemis platform and is being tested in high-risk and CNS-involved patients. Adcetris, in combination with the BRCAd regimen, has been approved in the EU for previously untreated advanced Hodgkin lymphoma. In the HD21 study, BRCAd showed superior safety and non-inferior progression-free survival compared to the historical standard EB-COP. This expands Adcetris's European label to 7 indications and marks its second frontline approval for advanced CD30-positive Hodgkin lymphoma. Beam Therapeutics has received FDA Orphan Drug designation for Beam 101 in sickle cell disease. The base editing candidate, evaluated in the Beacon trial, demonstrated robust fetal hemoglobin induction and reduction in sickle hemoglobin, alongside a favorable safety profile. The therapy edits HBG1 and HBG2 to mimic hereditary persistence of fetal hemoglobin. Beam plans to dose up to 30 patients in the Phase 1, Phase 2 trial by mid-2025. Sanofi's rilzabrutinib has earned its 4th orphan drug designation, now including sickle cell disease. The oral BTK inhibitor was previously designated for ITP, warm autoimmune hemolytic anemia, and IgG, 4-related disease. Preclinical data in sickle cell models indicate reduced vaso-occlusion and inflammation. FDA review for its use in ITP is expected by August 29, 2025. Stay ahead in hematology and blood cancer research. Like, share, and subscribe for weekly updates. Visit lqventures.com or email us at info@lqventures.com for expert healthcare consulting. See you next time.